Woo-hoo. Hey, 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 hey. We are live. All right. Every time we do this, we got to make sure we got the Instagram people on because they're like, wait a minute, we don't see y'all yet. So we're trying to make sure, hopefully, you guys do. But we're working that out, I tell you. Hello, hello, hello. How are you all doing today?
Hey, Conti.
Huh?
Hadn't talked to you in a minute.
I know, because I've been celebrating my birthday.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, I've been celebrating my birthday. It keeps popping up. The little thing popped up, but I was talking to you and I didn't hit the little
You
thing.
good. It's all good. We're all on. We're on every
Let's
Monday.
see. I don't see it saying live on my Instagram, but we're gonna get it together. We're gonna get it. Hey y'all, hello. I see somebody's popped on Facebook. All right. Share, share, share. Let everybody know that Dating Differently with Demi and Dr. Conti is live on your on your page, on our page, everywhere. We live. We live.
Yeah.
Yes, so I was celebrating my birthday
Okay.
and I had a good time. And when we did our show last week, I was traveling. I tell you, flights was late and flights was doing all kinds of stuff and trying to be canceled. I'm like, no, no, I gotta be sitting somewhere in front of a camera
Yes, you did. It was a
at
great
7 o'clock. I was
show. It
getting a little bit nervous.
was a great
All right, so hello everyone. We are back. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Dating Differently with Demi and Dr. Conti. What a great time we have had with you all these last 3 weeks. This is our third week here. I'm super glad to be
Mhm.
back. And thank you all for the calls, the texts, all of the comments on how much you are really enjoying the podcast. Let me
Yeah.
get my little yes. Yes.
He said yes, 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 yes,
Yes,
yes,
yes,
yes.
yes, yes. We like that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we did get some comments from men, and the men were like, Conti, I heard you say women a couple of times, and we you got men watching it too, and we like this too, and this really does work for us too. And you are absolutely right. So my apologies. What we talk about goes for anybody dating.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anybody, single, divorced, widowed, widower, you are absolutely right.
Absolutely.
So scratch it if I say women or sisters or queens. We're talking to everyone. So I'm gonna work on that. But thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the guys saying no, we've had some of these same issues
Yeah.
when we're dating.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
All right. Well, you guys know I'm Demi. Um I'm your fun, fabulous friend. I like to keep it real in these dating streets, call out the foolishness. So I am here with you today. Conti, I don't know if you fully introduced yourself for those who.
I didn't. For those who don't know my background and all of the stuff that I do and bring to the table, I'm your go-to girl for your wisdom. When you're not thinking clearly, I'm going to help you identify those red flags, even when they're dressed up really nice in a nice suit or a tux or whatever with some uh, cuff links. I'm going to still help you be able to identify those red flags, even if it's in a nice package, and recognize when chemistry does not equal compatibility. So I empower my listeners because I normally say my sisters, and they got on me. The guys got on me, so all right. I see. I caught that. I caught that.
You
I
did do that. You did. You did.
I empower my listeners. I empower all of my listeners to make sure that you are coming from a healed place and setting strong, healthy boundaries, and that you are attracting the love that all of us deserve, men, women, boys, and girls. And yes, I do it a lot with a little bit of holy sass because guess what? The truth still needs style.
Exactly. And I am Demi. And what I do is design for people who want better matches, healthier relationships. If you're ready to break unhealthy patterns, set clear boundaries, and feel confident and aligned before dating again, or you want structured, high touch support from profiles to messages to the first date, I provide coaching that covers communication, style, mindset, dating strategy, from knowing exactly when to move from a text to a call to a date, and just being confident, prepared when you go in, and being intentional about what we're doing here and what you're doing. And at my core, I am a high level dating mentor who help people just level up for love. I focus on confidence and clarity and intentional dating, helping you release old patterns and choose relationships that actually align with who you are.
Hmm. People
Yeah.
always ask us, why did y'all do this? How did y'all start this podcast? We've said it before, but we want to continue to say it
You
because
do, and you started with it, for our big grown age like we are. One of the things that we did, we talked a lot because, when you're divorced, I got divorced, got back in this dating scene. It was something new. So it's for those who are seasoned, singles, empty nesters, widowed, career focused people like yourself, hopeful, and even ones who are just ready to give up. This is what this is for. This is who they're for.
yeah, this is for you. Because you know what? Like I said, you deserve the love that matches your standards, values, and your energy. I'm always talking about standards and values and boundaries, and you deserve the love that matches that.
Yeah. And last week we talked about readiness and red flags and yellow flags, green flags. Today we're talking about what happens after you're ready. How do
Mhm.
you spot alignment? That's what we're talking about today. So, how do you spot that alignment early on so you stop wasting time, energy, and your emotional bandwidth? Because that's a lot.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And so, we have to always think about, like I said, when we talked about last week episodes and the reflections of that episode, and
Mhm.
and we listen to the listeners, and we have your feedback, and so you want to know, like, why does yellow flags deserve so much attention?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they do, because the yellow flags reveal patterns in progress. Like, it's happening in real time.
Mhm.
It's the habits that we overlook. It's
Mhm.
the attitudes or the behaviors that may grow over time. That is not so, as Demi, you always say, like the red flags. The yellow flags are not so glaring in your face.
Yeah.
So that's why they deserve a little bit more attention, because they show where communication, boundaries, or healing are needed. Because sometimes we just kind of overlook those things. Also, what are you tolerating early? So boundaries, I mean, excuse me, yellow flags shows what boundaries you are not setting, or
Mhm.
often becomes what you struggle with later
Yeah.
when you tolerate things early. And so ignoring those yellow flags is how many people end up
Yeah.
shocked, like, oh my God, later, by the red flags. Like, wait a minute, where did this come from?
So
But
those were like the little signs that you see
yes,
early
like, where did
on.
this come
And
from?
when you think back, you say, I saw that.
Yes, they
Oh,
start adding up. They start adding up, and you overlooked it. So that's why we want to spend a little bit more time on those yellow flags, because those are the ones that kind of like sneak right on by.
yeah. Or we make a lot of excuses for them. Um,
Mhm.
so this episode is about early journey of dating intentionally, especially that first person you date when you get back out there. What
Mhm.
it feels like, what you notice, how those yellow flags show up before um, red ones do ever. And if you've ever ignored a yellow flag because you wanted it to work, I want you to put an
Mhm.
exclamation mark in the comments, just an
Mhm.
exclamation mark. I think I remember one. Um, first time we were going out and I wanted him to meet, just a couple of my good friends. I don't know if you were there, Conti, but we finished the whole dinner. I mean, an hour and a half later, they showed up.
Oh, I remember that. I remember
Hour
that.
and a half later, they showed up.
And I remember asking you, okay, did you like get up and leave?
The checks were there. And I remember
Wow.
we got there right on time just to pay the check. And, he's 20, 25 minutes away. And there was some, I don't even mumbled excuse, but that really was, and you know how I do it. That was the yellow flag that really turned into red later on. I should have went, that was it.
She can't. I did that for somebody today. We was talking. I said, "Look, I'm gonna tell you, if I was with my co-host from the podcast, she would be like this."
That was it. So, giving examples, those are little things, and that means a lot. And we won't, go deep into that. That's why we're here. That's why we're coaching. That's why you have our information in the ticker going across.
Yeah. So let me talk about a lot of different things that, again, we often miss. So let me frame the emotional and psychological shift that happens when we're dating intentionally. You will hear us say that a lot. We say dating intentionally a lot. We say dating with wisdom a lot. And so dating intentionally requires that you have a deep emotional and psychological shift. You got to shift emotionally and psychologically when you're dating intentionally, because you want to shift from chasing chemistry to choosing clarity.
Yeah.
That's different. I'm going to say it again for those in the back. You want to shift from chasing chemistry. Oh God, it feels so good. Oh, the chemistry. Oh God, he's so
sexy. We like tall, dark, and handsome.
He's so sexy. He's 6 feet. He got 6 figures, and he's a 6-pack. Okay, yeah, but you got to shift from that. You got to shift from that, because what happens is, so and so you probably asking, okay, how do you shift? How does the shift shows up?
Yeah.
And so this is how the shift shows up. The shift shows up from excitement to evaluation.
Yeah.
When you're dating intentionally, it becomes a point where you still enjoy the spark. Don't take me wrong. Yes, if he's hot, he's just hot, or for the men who are listening, if she's hot,
if she's fine, she just fine.
She is fine. However, you want to make sure that you're no longer letting the butterflies make the decisions for you, and that you make the decisions that you've already set with your boundaries. That's what should make the decisions, okay? And that's why having that list that I talk about a lot is important. Having that list ahead of time is important. Welcome. Hello, everybody. I see a few people that's popped on. Thank you for joining us. Jocelyn, Ken Anderson, and the Sparagens. I may have got that all wrong, but welcome. Share the podcast. Let everybody know that we're on live right now.
Hi.
So that's why that list is important. And you want to go from the shift, take you from potential to patterns.
Yeah.
You stop dating someone that could be the right one. It could be, oh, he's got all this, or she's got all
potential is what you say. We talk about all the time. We're not doing
nothing now. That's what potential means. Not doing nothing now. So you don't want to be dating for potential. You want to be looking at those patterns and starting to pay attention to what is consistent. What are they consistently doing? Because some consistency is a way to be able to say, all right, this is a pattern that they are consistently being on time, consistently being whatever, or consistently being rude, consistently being. So looking at patterns instead of potential, that's a part of the shift. Also a part of the shift is from fear of loss.
Yeah.
I may not have this opportunity again, to self-trust. Okay, so you're no longer afraid of walking away because you trust yourself and you choose peace over attachment.
Yeah.
The shift also looks like from proving worth to protecting peace. I don't have to prove my worth anymore. I don't have to convince you to choose me. I'm choosing wisely and I am protecting my peace. And then you want to also make sure that you move from audition for love to assess your alignment. I'm going to assess whether we are aligned. Man, this is some good stuff, y'all. Because this is the stuff that we many times, no judgment, oftentimes, all of us have
been through it,
gone right past these things that are so valuable and important. And the last thing is you move from emotional urgency, like I got to do, I got to do it right now. Time's running out. I'm getting older, or whatever whatever for whatever reason. You move from emotional urgency to emotional regulation. You slow down. You stay grounded, and you let discernment lead instead of desire. Let me just sit back and see what's really going on. Intentional dating isn't colder, it's clearer. You ain't got to be cold. People think because you're intentional, you got to be,
not at all.
You just have to be more clearer. It's the shift from hoping it works to knowing what you require for it to work. Woo!
You said a lot. You said a mouthful. But one of the things I know, I'm just going to go back to what you said about choosing, because the first person you should always choose is I'm choosing my peace. And so in that's where the clarity comes in. I think ultimately we think about what we really want in an individual. And I can go back to the example. I wanted you to I know we have so much time to unpack that just a tiny bit, where someone may be thinking, what does being late? Why does that feel like?
He showed up. He showed up.
I mean,
he didn't stand you up, Demi.
But there's more to being late, and that's setting a precedent.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It really is. For so much.
And how you start something is how you end it. It also, like we always say too, we train people how to treat us. So you're training him that it's okay. You don't have to be consistent with your time. You can tell me one thing and do another because I was okay when you showed up late.
Yep. Yeah. So I know some of the things I thought about, which others may think about too. When you first get out there, you're a little nervous and excited about dating. Being online is something new. Sometimes you like the structure of it, but not how it performs. Early flags that you notice faster when you're healed. We talked about all of these different things and how being intentional dating feels calmer and clearer. I know you said that, and I just appreciated that so much more. And that's what a coach does for you. I know that's what we did for each other and what we're doing for each other.
Accountability.
We always have funny conversation.
Because let me tell you, some of this stuff make you want to cry. So you got to have somebody to laugh with it. You got to have somebody to laugh about this foolishness. Like you said, some of this stuff is like, okay, really, did that really happen? So, and that is what make people. I was talking to someone today and I said, look, you really need to get back out there and we're going to help you with this dating and dating online and dating more intentional. And I was talking about it. And one of the things she said, Demi, was, but that just seems like so much work.
Well,
and you know what?
I was going to, you know what I was going to say. I've heard men and women say that it takes too much work to do it. It's just too much work. And so
But you know what? You out there, you're out there anyway. If you're dating or whatever, if you're wanting it,
Yeah.
anything that's worth having is worth working for.
How did
But
you know I was gonna say that?
yeah, because we think alike a lot.
Because I mean, it really is. It
But
really
and the thing
is.
about it is, it I so many times the reason it's exhausting is because we've been doing it wrong. Many times the majority of us have been doing it wrong.
And that's a good point because
Mhm.
something working for something or putting, let's not say work, let's say effort.
Effort.
Putting effort into something is different than being exhausted
Mm-hmm.
because you almost feel like you're just turning, going round, round, and round in circles. When you cut things off really much quicker, when
Mm-hmm.
you're online and you able to kind of read between lines, when you're able to have a conversation and know exactly what you want and you hear something different,
Yeah.
which kind of goes into what I'm going to start talking about,
Mm-hmm.
not that exhausting anymore.
Exactly. And that's kind of what I said to her. I said, well, it seems like a lot of work because you've been doing it the wrong way. And we talked about, the wrong bait. Saying having the wrong bait. You catch the
Which
wrong
I told you, right?
wrong fish. Listen, you caught some exhausting fish. It's time to change your bait. And we're gonna give you the right bait to catch the right
So
fish.
she's
It's
saying
not
that
so
because I said to her, the bait that you use is the fish that you're going to catch.
yes.
And if you're using the wrong one, right, that's what you're going to bring in. And
Mm-hmm.
so we talked about exhaustion. So I'm going into what something Conti and I talked about earlier today is one of the things is you got to believe what they say, even when you don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, the biggest yellow flag is not what people do, it's what they tell you and how we interpret it or
Mm-hmm.
twist it around to sound like what we want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely, you have to believe what a person does because we're
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
at what they say and what they do. But I'm specifically talking about when you meet someone and we all have these questions and we probably have all the same questions, right? But okay, are you married? Do you have a girlfriend? Are you in a relationship or a situationship?
Mm-hmm.
You is there anyone that thinks they're in a relationship with you? But I know I've had questions and I've had an answer that the person was showing up, they were calling, they were doing the dates, they were chivalrous, but when you asked about when was your last relationship, and they say I can't remember.
Mm. Well, you haven't had one.
How old are we, right? When you're talking to someone at our age and they can't remember the last time they were in a relationship,
They weren't in one.
point, right? And so at that point, even though they may have been doing all of the things that look like you believe a relationship looks like,
Mm-hmm.
listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
Not looking for a relationship.
Yeah.
They're the same as let's just see how things go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm open. I'm not looking for anything serious. It's kind of like I don't know who I asked, and I don't know if I was talking. I always talk to you between a couple of people and say, when people say hi, I say hi, right? She
Mm-hmm.
says hello, hello, hello. How many ways can you say hello?
Right.
What's up? This when they say, I really wasn't looking for a relationship. Let's just see how this goes. I like things to be organic.
And then you get mad 6 months later because you ready to be for them to call to say, look, I'm ready to lock this down. Let's get engaged. And they told you in the beginning
That part.
they were not looking for a relationship.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like you said, we got to be able to hear and believe. And if it's quacks like a duck, it's a duck. When they tell you, like, believe them the first time.
Yeah, you just exactly what they say, take them at their word.
Take them at their word.
Them at their word. And then you can match that with what they're doing. But sometimes those things aren't going to look the same. And so understand the words mean something.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I went on a date with someone who, and remember, guys, I'm saying date, but let me say for the new listeners, that's
Yes.
a meet and greet. But
Yes.
nobody understands meet and greet, so let me just put it out there and just say date.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not dating you if I'm just, meeting and we're getting to.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're gonna call him God's gift to women because
Mm-hmm.
he was God's gift to women.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the bigger things I asked, what's the longest relationship you've ever been in? And what he told me was the longest relationship, and I know you remember this, Conti, was 6 months. I've never been in a relationship in it.
Oh
More
yeah.
than 6 months.
I saw. That was a really run. That was a and because we're not talking about kids too. We're talking about people that are in their 50s and 60s, and you have not had in 50 years, 40 years, 40, 35 years of dating, one relationship that lasted more than 6 months. I think the problem might be you.
But what that goes into is, the honeymoon phase is those
Mhm.
first 3 months. We're getting to know each other, right? But 4 or 5 months in, that's when you're really seeing if you are aligned.
Yes.
That's when you see more of the real person.
Mm-hmm.
That's when life is happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so you're showing up as your true, authentic self, which you should do from day one. But we all know, just like in any interview or anything else, when you're meeting someone for the first time, we get our hair done, we get our nails done, we put on lipstick, we're going to try to look our best. We
That's right.
all do that,
Right.
right? So it
Right.
was just really interesting to me. And he was so shocked when, after that meet and greet, I sent my, it's not you, it's me text.
Actually, it's really better than that, y'all. She has, so those who hired Demi to help work with you on your dating and your platform, I have used them and I love them. She has really great little short responses. It's not you, it's me, but it's not saying that, Of course, I have enjoyed this time. However, it just does not seem that we are aligned or
Yeah.
that, I'm dating more intentional right now and, whatever, whatever. But she's got some quick little short responses for you that takes the pressure off of you trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to say because I've already figured out this is not going to work.
This is not going to work.
And let me say this too. I missed saying about the nervous system. Your nervous system will tell you if it's going to work or not. That's your discernment. And sometimes we have overlooked it. So discernment begins with that nervous system. That's that thing inside your body that feels like it's either constantly on edge or it's calm. So you got to ask yourself, what is it? Does it feel rushed? Does it feel confused?
Yeah.
Does it feel, or what is it saying? This is information that we have to take time to listen to because peace, consistency, emotional safety, all of that should feel calming, not boring. Because a lot of women, oh, that's boring because they're not used to that calm feeling. They're used to the chaos, but it should feel calming. Your nervous system, it's awareness. It teaches us to ask certain questions like, do I feel safe? Do I feel safe being myself? Can I be myself?
Yeah.
That's what's important when you're dating and or like we say, dating meaning getting information, you're gathering information. That's a fact. Pat said that's a fact. Trust your body and listen. Absolutely. Because it tells us, but we have to listen. If you don't get nothing out of this session, what we're saying is all because, like I said, we've all been there. No judgment.
Yep.
We're talking about things that we've gone through and we've laughed about ourselves.
Yeah.
And so definitely, and in my body, is my body relaxed or is it like bracing for an impact. Like I feel like I need to brace for whatever's about to come out this person's mouth because they've said some crazy stuff. You know, we've talked about some of the crazy stuff we've heard.
That one, yes, absolutely, absolutely.
You know, am I comfortable bringing up uncomfortable situations?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable bringing up uncomfortable situations? There's a story I want to share, and I had someone that I was working with, and this particular person had been in relationships with very toxic people. So bringing up a change of plans or bringing up something that was unexpected, that's like you just opened up the volcano, because if you're dating someone toxic and crazy, then they're gonna, you know, they don't handle things like that well. Well, this person that she was dating now is a healthy person, and if you haven't dated healthy, it's totally opposite from dating chaos, you know, crazy, the people who are toxic and narcissistic, or just not good with communicating, and so they are, you know, moody and all of those different things. So she was on pins and needles because they were having they were taking a vacation, and there was some changes that on her part had to change. She literally was ready to say, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to be able to go. And I said, but you haven't even given him the benefit of the doubt. You haven't even explained to him what the issue is.
Right.
She was just on pins and needles. Her nervous system was on edge, not because this person was a bad person. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, is it from truth or from trauma? And in this case, it was from trauma. It wasn't because of the truth about how he was. It was because of what she was used to. So I convinced her to talk to him about it. And he was like, no, that's no problem. No, we're definitely still going. That changed. That's okay. We'll just have to switch some things around. Maybe we won't be able to do as many excursions, or we won't be able to do. He said, but no, absolutely. And she was just like,
so basically what you're saying is, and what we always talk about, I hear people all the time. I hear men and women say, I want easy. I want easy. It's always going to be easy when you're dealing from a healthy place with a healthy person.
Yes. Yes.
And I know that we had a couple of, and that was your answer. I know it is. It's easy.
And when we say easy, that doesn't mean you don't have conflict. That doesn't mean you're not going to be able to,
exactly.
You're going to run into, roadblocks and things that you're not going to agree on. But what I'm saying is it wasn't, the world wasn't going to stop because her obligations that she had committed to had changed for the trip. When you're dating someone who is healthy and committed and able to shift and pivot, it was nothing like what she was expecting.
Yeah. So I know we had a couple of questions that came in. We had them from last week and in between. So I'm going to ask you one. There was one that came for you, Dr. Conti. So let me look at it so I can make sure I get the question right.
What they want to know about from me.
All right. So how do you feel about dating more than one person and you're a public person? And I'm going to say this, I'm going to throw this out there because I get it. And I know that.
I see I sat up in my seat, right?
sit up in it, because as women, we have this, I don't know, this thing about it. And I can honestly say I got over it, but I was, I'm a pretty sociable person, and I was out with a different person than someone in my picture. Someone in my social circle had seen me with.
Okay.
And she literally asked me, "Oh, that's someone different. Are you sleeping with him too?"
I can't believe that someone would ask that, but I mean, I can.
I'm getting past it. I'm past it. It wasn't a big deal for me because it was kind of clutch my pearls.
Right. That's what I said.
Yeah, right. But I think I'm in a different space. So, I don't have a problem with it. I'm single. I can date who I want to date. But I think for a lot of women, different from men, it looks a certain way, or we feel it looks a certain way if we're dating more than one person. And when I say dating, that just means getting to know, going out. So, how do you feel about that? And how does that work for you?
Okay, so the question is, how do I feel as a public person dating
Mhm.
and people seeing me out or posting with more than one person or a different person this month, and maybe a couple of months later you see me with a different person? I get it. Well, let
Maybe
me
it's
say
next week, maybe
next,
it's
maybe next
whatever.
week. You're right. So I say I have two words: let them.
I was going to say Jimmy crack corn, but okay.
That's our that's our little thing, Jimmy Crack Corn, whatever. Jimmy Crack Corn, I had to take that's a whole nother. We're gonna go into that next week. Jimmy Crack Corn means who cares what Jimmy Crack Corn means nothing. You're right, it means nothing. And so, Mel Robbins has a book out called Let Them, and I'm not trying to publish, push her book, but it is so important that we learn to let people think and believe whatever they want to think and believe. I am so happy with where I am, and it feels so good to be able to date, gathering information, have a great time. And with the process and the things that we teach, it doesn't take long for you to realize this might not be the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Do you have a great time? Yes. If they're healthy, yes. And more than likely, if I'm dating them or if I'm getting to know them, they're pretty much still a healthy person. But what we also have to realize, every healthy person is not the person for you. And so I say to the woman that asks, the women or that feel that way, or the woman that asks that question, don't be concerned with what other people think. Let them think whatever they want, but you enjoy your life. You go ahead and vet people and date, and they're just jealous because they're not out dating having a great time.
You know what part of it? What part of it is I think it that causes us a type of anxiety to maybe do a lot
Yeah.
of private things with someone
Mhm.
we're getting to know. So maybe you're further down the line. You're a month in. You've gone on 3, 4, 5 different dates, and
Really, because by the time y'all see me out, I've gone on way more than what you see me. You know what I'm saying.
I just that was one of the questions. So
Hey, don't be offended if you see me out next week and I'm with somebody else, because I'm still vetting. I am still may the best man win. Hey, Demi, I have a question for you. Hey, wait a minute. Pat said, I learned to be at peace with let them. It was a learning curve at first. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tamika said, yes. All right, Demi, here was a question for you. It says, what are some ways, Demi, what are some ways to tell that to tell things about someone that you don't meet or see in person, but that you're looking at them just through their profile?
oh,
That is that.
okay.
Let me tell y'all, that's right up her alley. Let me wait before you answer that. That is right up her alley. I sent to Demi today. I sent Demi today a picture of someone who matched with me, right? And I said, oh, I sent it because I'm like, okay, this is a good looking brother. This is, yeah, I liked all the we have little checks that she's taught me to check on, right? And I don't have that eye. I'm telling y'all, that's why y'all need her. Y'all need me to help you with some other stuff, get your boundaries together, get your clarity together, her to help you with the profile. So not even 2 minutes after I sent the profile, he texts back, did you notice that he's out of the country? And I'm looking at the picture like,
Well, no, what I said was, well, he has a passport because he's
yes,
in Paris right now, or at least that picture was.
yes.
And
Y'all,
she said,
I'm
how did
looking
you know?
at the picture like, where do you see all of that at? Because I saw none of that. She's like, well, you notice the words in the window behind him
They're
is in a
French.
different language. But anyway, so yes, she's good at that. The question was, so Demi, what are some of the ways that you can tell something about a person that you're meeting just from their profile and not in person?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. So, so I don't know which one. We were talking about yellow flags, so I'm thinking, do I want to talk about a yellow flag that I would see? And so I will. So one of them would be specifically, it has in the profile, we all know it says you can, something casual, looking for long term, has all these different things, ways you can match. So, oh, looking for friendship, that's one of them. I think that's there. And so if you have someone that says looking for a long-term relationship, but it says, I'm looking for friendship, he ain't looking for a long-term relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not. It's and even if we think, well, we're going to be friends first, and once we're friends, then we're going to go into this long, beautiful relationship.
Because some of the things, this is something Demi taught me too. They will have looking for friendship, looking for casual dating, looking for a committed relationship, they have all of them checked. And so one of the things that Demi said to me is, well, they're just trying to catch, they're tossing the net out. And they're catching everybody that, okay, I want a friendship. Somebody else, I'm okay with casual. Somebody else, I want something committed. So they're just like putting everything out there that they think will appeal to you.
And then it's and again, it goes back to, we are interpreting things the way we want to interpret them.
Mm-hmm.
Because we in our mind say, well, of course we're going to be best friends. I mean, the man in my life is going to be my best friend.
I was like, well, Demi, they just checked them all because they want all of that.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. So that I would say is one of the yellow things. So you want to look for those type of things. I remember seeing someone that said in their profile, they didn't have children. But in the picture they took, there was a car seat. I saw the corner of it.
They were babysitting the neighbor's children.
No, that's not happening either. And, a conversation was had, and he has babies. Well, why would you put in your profile that you had no children, but you got car seats in the back seat?
Yeah, she picked. She said, "Wow, I am learning so much. Didn't think about the fishnet. Yes,
just put it all out there.
That's why we are doing this. I'm telling y'all. We have learned. We have learned, and it's not like you. Again, that's why we're talking. The podcast is dating differently. Yeah. You have to learn to date differently because this is a whole new era. This is a whole new way of doing things.
Yeah.
We had some more questions, but we may have to hold them to next week. And I see more people popping on. So great to see you all. I see other people are chiming in the chat. We try not to go too long. I know y'all are ready. Y'all are liking this. You want to throw in another question, or you want to put it to later?
Yeah,
do I have a story? I learned some good hard lessons. Hey, and please, if you don't mind, or if you want to share them anonymously, let us know some of your stories. We have questions that others have asked. We do have other questions. We'll get to some. We're going to do questions every week. We decided we'll do questions every week because they're coming in now.
Yeah.
And if you have, like Tamika, you've got some stories, share them with us so that we can tell them. We don't have to say who it is. We can share them anonymously because trust me, others can learn from your story, our stories, and we're not the only ones with these stories, but we want to educate everybody. We want to help you be able to date differently and better and with wisdom.
And so we'll hold the questions. You see, I think I put in the chat a couple of times to follow us at Dr. Conti Speaks, at Dating with Demi. We have the Instagram. Send us a DM. Send us additional questions. We'll make sure we get to those next week.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. So that is going to wrap it up for us. We are finalizing it for today. It's always been a pleasure to be with you all. I'm Dr. Conti. So again, like she said, like and follow us on social media. And I absolutely agree. One of the reasons I'm inspired to share so others can learn from experiences. Yes. Thank you for sharing. Yes. Until next time, Tamika. Next Friday, same time, same channel, same place. We will be right here. We want to make sure that you, until next time, that you remember that you deserve love, and that brings you peace, that brings you clarity, that brings you joy.
Right. And I'm Demi. And so join us next week where we continue to help you love intentionally
and heal completely
and date differently.
All right, y'all be blessed.
Bye.
Share this information. Thank you. You all stay safe too. It's going to be bad weather, I think, across the country. So thank you. Tamika says stay safe. You all do the same. All right.
See you next week. Talk to you later, Conti.
Bye-bye.
Bye.